Here's what hasn't changed in Saudi Arabia. Women still can't drive, cinemas, concerts, Valentine's Day, all outlawed, and Saudis are still pretty attached to crude oil. More accurately, the life they lead because of it. This is what has changed. Oil revenues have collapsed with global prices, and the country can no longer afford generous handouts for its citizens. Saudi Arabia's coffers are draining fast, and now its rulers are scrambling to kick the country's hydrocarbon habit, all while keeping their people on side. So here's the situation. In 2015, King Salman assumed the throne in the deeply conservative Muslim nation. His son, Prince Mohammed, quickly built up enough power for Western diplomats in Riyadh to dub him Mr. Everything. With oil, the country's finances, and just about everything else under his control, the prince launched a plan to transform the Arab world's largest economy and wean it off the proceeds of crude. This is how. Sell up to 5% of Saudi Aramco, the country's national oil producer, in what could be the world's largest IPO. Sink the proceeds into a sovereign wealth fund that could eventually control more than $2 trillion. That's big enough to buy the 4 largest public companies in the US. And completely revolutionise Saudi Arabia's employment and social system, cutting subsidies for basics like electricity, winding back the bounteous grants that have helped keep citizens compliant, and getting more Saudis to work for a living, even women. So here's the argument. Saudi Arabia's been trying to diversify away from oil for years, but it hasn't been particularly effective. This $10 billion financial district in Riyadh, filled with gleaming buildings, sky bridges and a monorail, sits largely unleased. The economy is still powered by foreign workers who make up 80% of the private workforce. Efforts to get more Saudis into work have been met with apathy, and rulers are running out of time. Even with the world's biggest petroleum fields and $500 billion in foreign reserves, the good times are over. And there's a demographic tidal wave approaching. Nearly half of Saudi Arabia's 21 million citizens are under 25, and they make up a third of all unemployed. In the past, any potential challenge to the system was sated by a cash-for-loyalty social contract that Prince Mohammed has signalled he's willing to tear up. The reforms could also put him at odds with ultra-conservative Wahhabi clerics who still wield great power. Saudis are confronting a future of cheaper oil in a country where oil is everything.